Okay, we already been out here working on some stuff. Previous video, we basically had the steering components installed, got the springs in, and some hoses at the top and all that. But we did go ahead and get the sway bar, the front sway bar, in leaks and the whole thing set up. We are working on the torque arm to get that connected, get the drive shaft in here. So basically what we're trying to accomplish is get this whole car sitting down on all its tires. Okay, you do see some wires hanging loose here. That's by design. That's how we tested the fuel system, powered the pump to make sure we had no leaks in our lines and all that good stuff, and all that passed with flying colors. Sorry, camera keeps shutting off. We're gonna have to make a bracket for the transmission because somehow that got thrown away. This is a brand new shifter, so I'm going to have to get a make a bracket for that, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to keep the camera on, just turn it on and off when I need it for recording. Does anybody want a GoPro 7? Anyway, what we're going to try to accomplish in this video is to get this motor started. Hopefully by the end of this video, change the battery, see how long it lasts now. Well, it's been 15 seconds and it still has not shut off. Whoop, now it's 15. Different battery. Okay, let's try this again. Swap the battery out and I think it's gonna stay on. Get a GoPro battery. Anyway, I'm gonna make a custom bracket for this. I will show you how I'm gonna make that. Somehow I threw the old one away, and eBay, they want like 50 bucks. That's a used one. It's ridiculous. So I'm gonna try to make my own. I got some steel around here we can cut and make it fit. So got that to get connected up, and some loose wiring and some modifications. We have to make sure things don't rub against the header. So anyway, got that to do, but right now our goal is to get the whole suspension completed so we can get it down on the floor, so I can get inside the car to get some of the wiring done and all that good stuff. So with that, let's go ahead and finish the rear end up, get the torque arm on and the drive shaft in, then we'll get the front tires on. So here we go. Quick update. Yeah, ever heard about pulling the transmission to put the torque arm mount in on the 3rd gen? Unbelievable. 4th gens are so much easier. 3rd gen, they literally suck. Yeah, we had to basically pull the transmission so I can get the torque arm mount, the front mount. Once I get it up in the air, we got it pulled, I got it on, but anyway, once you get it in the air, I'll show you. What was supposed to be an easy thing to do, put the torque on from here to here, but if you don't have this mount installed before you put the transmission up, there's no way, because this bolt, there's a bolt right here that goes from here to here, and when it's up in the tunnel, there is no way there's enough clearance. Plus these upper bolts, the same way, they go all the way through the mount. Oh crap. You know what we could have did? You ain't gonna love this one. Or we could have removed the tail housing and did the same thing.
You big dummy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but still, I went to lower the transmission either. There's 4 bolts, I can do the same thing. Oh well, live and learn. So you can change the mount, you just have to take these 4 bolts off. Oh well, we lowered the transmission, now we're putting it back up. Just need to get the bolts tightened up. Live and learn. Okay, next day working on Project Smurf. Before I turn the camera around, I have to admit, it's been a long time coming for this. I have not seen the car look this good in a long time, and I don't know. Let me just go ahead and turn around and see what you think. there it is. It's on all 4 tires. You got it. We got it sitting on its own weight now. Lift is sitting here relaxed. So it's a beautiful, beautiful sight. So anyway, we have not done too much up there on the top yet. But what we did get done, we went ahead and got the rest of the suspension done in the back. So obviously, I got the torque arm on, the what else? The drive shaft on. So all that's on. So it's a fully roller car. So if we wanted to push it outside, we can push it outside. If we want to bring it back, we can bring it back. We're still having some shifter problems. The bracket, I did something stupid. I might already mention it. But anyway, the bracket was on the shifter. I tossed it out. So I do have a solution that's coming. Fairly inexpensive solution. Hope it works. Under $20 solution. So that's why I say inexpensive. But that won't be here until later on the week. Well, hopefully that will solve the shifter problem so we can push it in and out of gear. So we still got to get that dialed in. So what are the plans? Okay, plans. As you can see, we are still working on our hit list sheet here. So the tick marks are starting to see more and more red check marks, which is a good thing. So I'm getting to a point where electrical is coming hard and fast. So I'll be definitely working on that. I got some block connectors coming so we can connect wires up between the starter, alternator, fans, and all that stuff. I still got to get some type of a distribution block, as I should say. So I want something where I can run power to and all that stuff from, make it look halfway decent. But the next step is actually to get all this wiring cleaned up. I'm going to set the fuel injection carburetor. I keep calling it a carb. It looks like a carb, but actually it's fuel injected. So I need to stick that on because I need to start working on the next fuel line to it. I got some connections to make to the throttle, or that's the kick down, throttle cable, and all that stuff. So I already got the brackets for all that stuff. So I just need to install it and see what it looks like. So I'll probably need to get the carburetor sitting on here and make all the connections to it and start cleaning up all this connection stuff. I need to start working on the Holley ECU, start making the connections for that, get the power to it. But so I got a lots of work to do. That's why I had to get down the wheels, because I'm going to have to suck this car on out, because I need to get into the dash, behind the dash, underneath the dash, to find some more wires so I can route it out to the outside here. Plus I need to route some wires to the inside as well. So basically I'm at the phase of electrical stuff set up. Still got to get a belt for the front accessories and stuff. I'm not worried about that. I really don't need that even to start the car. I don't need the accessories. I don't need anything really hooked up to hear it run. Just for a temporary, just to get it started. If you hear it run, it's good. We'll get the water added and all that stuff, and we'll get it all primed up and all that. Then I'll go get a belt. Still need to get the pulley on. So anyway, but yeah, no, we are definitely making progress. I keep rambling here. So until the next day, it's probably gonna be many days later. I got a big project next door. I got a fence I need to get up here the next week. So anyway, so I'm going to take a pause on Project Smurf. Sorry, but sometime other priorities come first. So I'll probably work on the fence. Then about a week or so later, I'll jump back on this and go from there. So with that, until might be a week for me. For you guys, it'd be a few seconds. So here we go. Okay, it's been a good few weeks since I last worked on the car. I was working on the wiring and all that good stuff. I am making a lot of progress today. Spent a good 2-3 hours up here getting everything wired in. Pretty much got the harness installed where it's going to go. Everything's pretty much connected up to the carburetor, except you can see this is not connected. because I'm going to have to take the carburetor back off, so no sense plugging back in. Still got to make a fuel line over there. But most electrical stuff right now is pretty much done. The mess that you see here, I still got to get some connections made to the relays. Pretty much all the grounds and power lines are ran from the alternator to the starter and all that good stuff. Just got one more ground to make here. So pretty much everything is pretty much done on the wiring part. I still have to find a trigger wire to activate the ECU, so power on, power off type stuff. Over here, a few more wires run. This is going, the green wire is going back to the fuel pump. Tack wire, and I can't remember what the other wire's for. But I don't think I need it. But anyway, definitely the green one. I'm going to have to get back to the fuel pump so we can fire that. And possibly the tack wire as well. The ECU is going to have a tack display, so I'm not that concerned if it doesn't show the tack on the dash. But it will show on the ECU display. You'll have the RPMs on that. So other than that, the next task is digging the dash, find a hot wire. So I've had to put the battery up here so I can start tracing wires out. Then once I do that, I can make the connection. Oh, that's right. One of the wires is for the, so we got the tack, the trigger wire, and the fuel pump. So anyway, once I figure all that stuff out, then we can start to fire up the ECU and get ready to try to fire this sucker up. So hopefully here the next next day or two, hopefully we'll be able to turn it over and see what happens. So with that, until the next day, and making some progress. We are getting closer. Fluids for the transmission, antifreeze, filter for the transmission. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and change the filter and the transmission fluid. So let's get yourself up to date of what yet to be done, to completed, and see if we can't get this thing started. Okay, what we got done, I was able to get this bracket. This is the bracket that I lost, but I found one on eBay and I had to modify to get it to fit, and it fits perfect. It's $20 solution versus a replacement bracket. You're looking $40, $50. They don't even make these right now, so you have to make something custom. Instead of making something custom, I bought one and modified it, and it works beautiful. The fuel pump here in the back is all wired up. I'd cut and splice and some stuff on it just to get it all work. I ran a new wire all the way in through the car, all the way up to the front to get the fuel pump to work. Hope it works. Haven't tested it yet. Well, I tested it by hot wiring it. Have not tested it through the ECU. So we still got to get that done. But then did a lot of wiring on top. Once I get the car down, I'll show you that. Before I do that, I'm going ahead and get the fluid taken out, get the filter in, get all that replaced, because when I washed it, might have got some water in it. I'm really not sure. But just to help mitigate that, I want to make sure before I start turning this thing over, all the fluid's been changed in here. It's got good fresh fluid. So with that, let's go ahead and get the fluid changed. Then we'll lower the car down and I'll show you what I did at the top. Pan off. All cleaned up. Pull the filter, put the new one in, clean it up, put the pan back on. And just like that, the pan's all back in. So let's get the car down and take a look what I've done on the top. Okay, we're making progress. The belt is installed. Top radiator hose is done. We're trying to get some of the plumbing out of the way. We're getting the bracketry set up for the carburetor. Fuel injection. Remember, fuel injection. So we got that. Finish up the wiring a little bit. The other thing is a oil catch can. I need to get that installed. It's going to go somewhere over here. When I get that installed, I'll show that as well. Still got to finish some of the plumbing here, the fuel lines and all that stuff. Then add the fluids and start it up. So if everything goes good, we'll have this car started here in the next few days. So, okay, another quick update. Pretty much everything is connected. The whole fuel system is now plugged in. The throttle cable is in, TV cable is in, pretty much adjusted. Really won't know until we drive it a little bit. The only thing I'm lacking to get done is the oil can. Okay, need to put that in. The steam port plug, I need to get that. Pretty much everything else is plugged in. Oh, one more radiator hose, just got to get 2 clamps for that. But fuel system's all done. So anyway, the only thing I'm really lacking, believe it or not, is the fluids. So that list is pretty much all done right now. All I have to do is add some fluids to it. Maybe a gallon or 2 of gas in the tank. Probably adds a few more. But pretty much antifreeze, yeah, antifreeze, transmission. We got to do the brakes, bleed brakes, power steering. So we need to get all that stuff in there in the system. I did fire up the ECU, and it came up and says I need to do a version upgrade or something. It's weird. So I'm going to do that tonight. Hopefully I'll plug it in tomorrow, and that should reprogram everything, and everything should fire up. But I did fire up the computer and basically have to upgrade it. So with that, I'm pretty much done for today, but we are going to fire this car up this weekend here the next this is Thursday now. So tomorrow finish this up, then Saturday we're going to try to crank it and start it up and get all that stuff going. So yes, there are some loose wires here. That's because I'm not too sure how I'm going to program the fans just yet. So anyway, more of that to come. So the next clip that you'll see is a happy face and us trying to start the car. So here we go.
Well, test it and
okay,
see if it's going to fire first.
Okay, well, first fire, we got the ECU working. You can see the blinky lights over there. The display's just hanging in there right now. We got the fluids in here. There's no water in it just yet. I did put transmission fluid in it, power steering fluid, we do have that. Brakes I'm not worried about. I think I got all the holes plugged except for the water. Like I said, I just want to see if the daggum thing even tries to start. So here goes nothing. Ready? Ooh. Okay, threw the belt for some reason. So we need to figure that out. It started, you can see all the smoke. It is loud. I'm pretty tickled on it. So anyway, need to take care of those few things, then go from there. We are down to the brake line, bleed, fluid, then a few things over there. Hood struts installed, battery hold down. That's it. Let me show you. We are in the process of bleeding brakes right now. We got them all bled except this one over here. Have to go and get a new bleeder valve because this one is destroyed. Not too sure what happened, but it got rounded off. But the motor is running good. The exhaust is not on yet, but we did order exhaust for it. That will be in the next video, what it's going to sound like. It's a Hooker Blackheart exhaust system. It's a true dual system, so it's going to be a nice sound and throaty sound. So I can't wait to get that on. But like I said, that's going to be in the next video. But yeah, programming thing, I'm still working on that. Trying to get the idle good, but I'm just going to wait for to get the exhaust on. It's going to help a little bit on the tuning part of it. But pretty much everything is working as it should be. I did have some issues getting things set up. We had power steering, belt, or the belt, accessory belt kept throwing off. That was a stupid thing on my part. Got that taken care of. Us loose bolt, idler, pulley, it's kept throwing things off. What else was there? Forgot to connect the map sensor up to the carb, up to the manifold. That was making it run overly rich until I realized, dummy, forgot to put that on. So once I got that on, I think started up no problem. What else were little issues I had? I think that was the biggest thing. Oh, I'm having a little oil leak in the back of it. on the manifolds where all the sensors going in, the oil pressure plus oil indicator light. It's leaking right back there. Went ahead and took everything back apart, RTV'd where it goes into the block. Made sure that the sensors all got some good sealant on that as well. Got everything good and torqued. I'm going to let it rest here for a few days. Then we start it back up and watch it again, and hopefully it's not leaking this time. I just hate leaks on cars. It shouldn't leak, right? But other than that, the radiator system's working great. The day that we did have it running, we had it run here at high idle, maybe 2400 for good 5 to 10 minutes. This thing kept the temperature right at about 180, right under 190, 185. No problem whatsoever. Both fans kicked on. That thing kept the thing nice and cool. So I'm very impressed with this type of setup. So if you do have a 3rd gen, use a 4th gen fans and a nice little lumen radiator. Not gonna have any issues. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close out this video. Hope you enjoy it. Maybe I'll close it out with pulling the car out under its own power and drive. I haven't really tested the transmission yet, but it should be good. But other than that, hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for the next video coming out of the exhaust system and play. So with that, I'm out of here until the next time.